And the formula for trapezoidal rule is equal to h over 2, right? Okay, then first fx was the last one, right? Okay, and 2 times with the summation of others fx. Okay, so these are from last week. So for today, we are going to the last method of numerical integrations. The last one is a Romberg algorithm or Romberg integration. Okay, so this Romberg algorithm basically is the improvement of trapezoidal rule. So what does it mean improvement, right? Which means try to reduce the error and get more accurate result. Try to reduce the error from the trapezoidal rule and get more accurate result. Okay. So for Romberg's algorithm, we need to create a table. So here is n, here is n. It's like your timetable. Okay. So start from 0, 1, 2, and so on. 0. Okay, so this Romberg algorithm is very popular. Normally will come out. Okay, normally will come out in your test and final exam. Okay, so let's go through one by one. So the first element here will be R00, and second here will be R10. Follow the index here, 20. And then here will be R11. Okay, and here will be R21. And then here will be R22. So you will form one lower triangular. Okay, lower triangular. Okay, so we need to find out the value here one by one. One by one. So we need to do it column by column. So first, let's see how to get the first column, right? So for the first column here, okay. So the first column m equal to 0, right? First column m equal to 0, right? Equal to 0. Okay. So first column we use this formula h over 2. First fx plus the last fx plus 2 times the summation of others. So for the first column, we use trapezoidal rule to find all the value. Okay. So for trapezoidal rule, there's a number of parts, right? So this number of parts basically equal to 2 power of n. Okay, 2 power of n. This n is from here. 2 power of n. So when n equal to 0, divide into how many parts? When n equal to 0, 2 power 0 equal to 1, divide into 1 part. Okay? When n equal to 1, divide into how many parts? 2 parts. When n equal to 2, divide into how many parts? 4. Okay, so divide into 4 parts. So which means R00 we divide into 1 part. R10 divide into 2 parts. R20 divide into 4 parts. Okay? So let's find R00. Now let's find R00. Later on we'll go into example of find R00. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. How about this? All the R here. Okay. So once we find out the R by using the trapezoidal rule, we need to improve the value. So here we call it all as an improved value. Okay. So how to get this improved value, right? How to get the improved value? That's a formula. Okay, let's write down the formula first. Over 4 power of n minus 1. So you need to remember this formula. Okay. So for example, let's go through this formula. For example, how to get R11, right? How to find R11? How to get R11? Okay, so for R11, consider the column before. Okay, consider the previous column and then take these two values. R10 plus R10 minus by R00. Then over 4 power of m. So what's the m value here? Anyone? M equal to? Yes, 1. M equal to 1. Okay, so 4 power 1. And then minus 1. Okay. So how to get R21? How to get R21? Consider the previous column. Okay. So take these two values. So R20 plus R20 minus by R10. Then over 4 power of m. What's the m value again? Yes. Equal to? Anyone? 4 power of 1 or 2? Okay, look at here. What's the m value? Yes, 1, right? M equal to 1. 4 power 1. Okay? And then last one. R22. How to get R22, right? So for R22 is over here, right? Consider the column before. So take these two values. Okay, take these two values. So R21 plus R21 minus by R11 over 4 power m. What's the m value now? Anyone? Yes, you got the 2. Okay? M, this is m value. M equal to 2. So 4 power 2 minus 1. Okay? So to be clear, let's go into one example. Okay. Okay, so let's go into one example. find R22. Okay, find R22. So first we create a table. And so 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so first we try to get R00. So for R00, still remember, divide into how many parts? One only, right? Divide into one part. Okay, refer back to here. Refer back to here. 2 power 0 equal to 1. So divide into one part. Okay. So divide into one part. So first we get the h. H is b minus a divided by number of parts. So what is the value for a and b here? 0, 1, right? 0, 1. So 1 minus 0 divided by 1 equal to 1. Okay, so h equal to 1. And then try to get all the value for fx. So x start from 0 and then every time plus h, right? So s2 equal to 1. So from 0 up to upper limit, lower limit up to upper limit. Okay. So what is our function here? Our function equal to 1 over 1 plus s squared. Right. 1 over 1 plus s squared. So plug in 0, you will get 1, right? And then plug in 1 over 2, we get 0.5. Now we can apply the trapezoidal rule to find R00. H over 2. Okay, first fx plus last one plus 2 times the summation of others, right? So h equal to 1 over 2. So first fx equal to 1 and the last one equal to 0.5. Is there any others? No, which means 2 times 0. Okay. So get 1.5 over 2. So get 0.75. Okay, 0.75. Okay, so after that we fill the table. R00 equal to 0.75. So after that we want to find R10. How to get R10, right? So R10 divide into how many parts? Yes, divide into 2 parts. So h equal to b minus a over 2. Okay. So b equal to 1, a equal to 0. So equal to 0.5. So let's get all the fx. S1 equal to 0. What should be the value for S2? Anyone? 0.5, yes. So every time plus h, S1 plus h. So equal to 0.5. S3 equal to 1. Okay. So from lower limit out to upper limit. Okay. So our function is 1 over 1 plus s squared. So So when x equal to 0, it will be 1. When x equal to 1, it will be 0.5. When x equal to 0.5, it will be 0.8, right? Okay. So now we can apply the trapezoidal rule to get R1 0. So hash over 2 again. First fx plus the last one. Okay, plus 2 times the summations of others. So hash equal to 0.5. Okay, first one equal to 1, last one equal to 0.5, others only 1, 2 times 0.8. So press calculator for this part, you will get 3.17. Okay, multiply together, get 0.775. Okay, so now fill out the table. Okay, fill out the table here. R10 equal to 0.775. Okay, and then minus 1, R21. How to get R21, right? Sorry, R20. R20 divided to how many parts? 4 parts, right? Okay, so divide to 4 parts. So h equal to b minus a divided by 4. 1 minus 0 divided by 4 equal to 0.25. Okay. So let's get all the fx. S1 equal to 0. S2 equal to 0.25. S3 equal to 0.5, right? S4 equal to 0.75. S5 equal to which one then? How about 0? You mean this one? 1 plus 0.5 plus 2 times 0.8. Or this one? 1.6. 2.6. Such long way, right? The final answer is correct. Correct. 0.5. Correct. Okay, it's correct. Okay, S5 equal to 1. Equal to 1, right? Okay, so when x equal to 0, it will be 1. S equal to 1, it will be 0.5. Equal to 0.5 to 0.8. The rest need to use a calculator. It's 0.64. It's 0.5. to 6 decimal places. Okay. So now we can get R20. So h over 2, 0.25 over 2. First one plus last one, plus 2 times others. Okay, so 0.25 over 2. So this part, use a calculator, get 6.262352. Multiply together, get 0.782794. Okay. Okay, so fill out the table. 0.782794. And then move on to second column. We do it column by column. Now finding R11. R11. So how to get R11? How to get R11? So take the value from the columns before. R10 minus R00. I mix up the first part. R10 plus R10 minus R00 over 4 power n. What is the n value? 1. 4 power 1 minus 1. Okay, let's do it over here. So R10 equal to 0.775. So 0.775 minus 0.75 over 4 minus 1 equal to 3. Okay, so press calculator for this, you will get 0.775 plus 0.008 triple 3. Okay, triple 3. So somehow you will get 0.78333. One more. Okay, and then we find R21. How to get R21? Okay, take the value from the column before. R20 plus R20 minus R10 over 4 power n. Again, what is n value here? Equal to 1. Right. Okay, so R20 equal to 0.782794. 0.782794 minus R10 equal to 0.775 over 4 minus 1 equal to 3. Okay, so press calculator, you will get 0.785393. Okay. Okay. Okay, last one. R22. R22 is over here. R22. Okay. R22 doing as a quiz. Find R22 doing as a quiz. Okay. Quiz number one. Find R22. Okay, the formula is over here. R22.